Hello and welcome back to the SWAN Pricing Show. My name is Filip Vucic. I'm a pricing mentor.
I'm Filip Zolota, business mentor.
So today we're talking about the role of time in getting to a higher price. So let's jokingly call it substituting time for a price, which is not exactly what we're doing, but you know. So what are we doing, Philip?
We are actually speaking about, in the end, the difference between duck and swan in terms of the approach and how to reach high ticket realm. As the expert, you need to invest not the money, but your time. Because quite often what is happening on the market, even companies, expertise companies have adequate amount of money, the budget for the marketing effort activities, paid advertising, etc., etc., etc. But that doesn't mean, and that doesn't guarantees them they'll be reaching top clients in terms of quality, relationship, fit, and all things will be aligned or as desired. The problem often is that experts, businesses are looking for immediate results. So if you have some service which you provide, you have the communication with potential client, the prospect, and if you do not sell, you just move forward. Eventually, you'll be reaching them after some time again, but you are constantly in the call stage. So practically, you don't have the relationship with your prospect. So there is a small chance that you will be entering high ticket realm and sell your premium price service or premium service to that respectable client. And that is the problem of the expectation happening in the expertise business. A bunch of business say, okay, we've invested this amount of money, blah, blah, blah. But the time is crucial because you want to be perceived and you need to position yourself as a trusted advisor. Sometimes things won't be kicking in for months, sometimes for years. But the point is that you are the first, primary, and only choice for some respectable expertise service in the eyes of the contact with whom you have the conversation. And also that the same person doesn't need necessarily to use your services, but it's a good playground to make the referrals for you because they already saw what you are capable of. Maybe you even help them without financial compensation, but they're able to open up the opportunities for you within their portfolio of contacts, clients, and what are your thoughts?
So context clients and so high tickets the in the realm of the duck is usually a function of low availability. So it's, you know, supply and demand, or it's simply hard to get to. So very few people deal with that material or deal with that area or deal with that time. So it's expensive because you want it on Christmas and nobody works on Christmas, whatever. So it's usually supply and demand. And here, well, I mean, it's still supply and demand, but the supply and demand of trust more than the service or the substance that we're trading in here, right? Um, because time won't do much difference if um, if the subject of trade is a commodity. So it might be a different potato tomorrow, but it's still a potato, and I just need a number of kilos of potatoes. It doesn't really matter if it's those or others. And if 2 weeks have passed or 3 weeks have passed, now I definitely want some other potatoes, not those 3 weeks ago. But apart from that, I don't care which is which, you know. And in the SWAN world, it matters who the expert is, and it matters what happened in the meantime. So did you read an expert opinion that aligned with your daily needs a couple of times, or did you pose a question and get a very good answer, or did you ask for help directly and actually get it? Um, or did you meet somebody who already worked with that person or who planned to work on that person on a much larger project, and now you're saying to yourself, well, I mean, I won't be the first idiot um, trusting my money to this person, so I definitely don't want to be the last one to figure out that this is a person worth investing money into, right? Um, so not everything has to be, special, unavailable. I heard the other day about specialization. Well, yeah, but you have to have something that others don't. No, you don't.
Mhm. Mhm.
No, you don't. I mean, they have to trust you more, but you could have the same type of license and the same type of office and the same type of haircut, or the same brand of glasses and shoes and IKEA furniture. That doesn't really matter, right? Um, so I think from the pre-show, I think I like the best the idea that there is no such thing as a cold high ticket sale,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Um, I mean, cold calling or cold approach or cold emailing, that works because people can figure it out for themselves. Oh yeah, this is a totally good deal, right? So I have this information that others don't, and this is why I'm going to get a better deal. All good, all understandable. Um, However, this is not it, right? This is not it. And um, oftentimes, as with movie stars or whatever, famous success stories always discount time.
Mhm.
So, Harrison Ford wasn't Harrison Ford when he started his career. Um, and there was a lot of time in each famous person's career where they were a nobody trying to break through just like many others. And so trust and expertise and people depending on you doing what you're doing, that takes time, which is not true for the duck world. So if I get an exclusive deal on some kind of screw for the country and nobody else can sell it but me, then I can charge for it more because people need it and nobody else can supply it, and I can do that. So if I have a truck full of money, I can make that deal today and start selling, let's say, high ticket tomorrow, and nobody can stop me, right? And this is simply not a thing in the expertise world. So in the expertise world, let's put it like that. In this one world, there is no such thing as a cold high ticket deal. Of course, there's exceptions. Of course, there's this one time that yes, sure, yes, but it's a completely different thing when somebody approaches you out of the cold when you already published 750 things around the web, and you're a trusted source on Quora, or you're the top voice on LinkedIn, and so it's that's not cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolute. It's very warm.
Yes, yes. It's warmed up. So cold in this world would be, so I never practiced, God forbid, medicine. And from tomorrow, I'm going to be a medical expert giving medical advice, and I'm going to charge high ticket for it. No.
You reminded me one specific case. I'm not sure that I ever mentioned it. I had one guy who contacted us to help him support him in his a business venture, expanding his business, building visibility, etc., etc. The guy had an amazing offer. He would sit in your company for it was around I think it was 100K for 6 months. He'll be doing his magic, and that's it. The point is that respectable person, no matter, didn't had any kind of social proof nor visibility. It was just the crazy idea of him. I worth this amount. So cool. Who can attest that? Who can confirm that? Where are you coming from? So anybody can just jump into the scene and say, "Oh, I am worthy. I worth this amount. Engage with me. Your business will be blossoming. I don't know what will be happening. We'll be even putting in front of your in your yard the money tree, and whatever you want, it will be already done." Like, yeah, it's crazy as the idea. And as you, all the things you mentioned, the problem also lies there where companies, experts are thinking that if they have the budget with money, they can resolve it all. When we were building international business and expanding internationally, we even played the game. Okay, what we are doing our way, meaning network building, relationship building, etc. In the same time, sales team doing their magic, we pour into good amount in terms of budget and everything. And where things truly happened in the realm of relationship and trustworthy partnership building, not in the realm when we were hitting hard in terms of any kind of sales activities, etc. If you are, and we are talking about the expertise business, specific rules apply. And that is something which cannot be compared, as you said, and compared to the commodity world. And the time is crucial, because if you have continuity, persistence, patience, things will be kicking in. Not necessarily and always when you want them to happen.
Yes.
But be there, be useful, be helpful, be supportive, and things will be happening. It's only a matter of time, not if, but only a matter of time.
That reminds me of something. So it's simply a natural thing that we want to understand how many steps does it take to do this. So how many times do you have to hit the gym to be in shape? Firstly, what does it mean to be in shape? Secondly, what does it mean to hit the gym? Right? Hitting it with a brick won't help. Although it depends on how many times you do it and how heavy is the brick. So it might. But in general, if you do exercise, you will get in shape. Nobody can say for sure when, because it depends on so many things. But it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. And humans are pretty bad at figuring out those kinds of deals, right? So as with all kinds of discipline pays off sooner or later. But you cannot know, oh yes, you do this 200 times and now you're good. Maybe it's 70, maybe it's 700. Depends. But it is inevitable. It's just very, very hard to predict when, right?
Exactly.
And the reasons that you mentioned, so why doesn't it work if somebody says, I'm charging this much because I'm worth it, because my mom says I'm worth it. I mean, it's a good thing. However, it's not enough. What we need to include into, let's say, any kind of market strategy, it doesn't have to be marketing strategy. So any kind of approach toward a buyer of any kind. In our case, it's clients, but in the duck world, it doesn't have to be. There have to be the so-called reasons to believe. So that's exactly what's missing there. It can be, as you said, references. Sure. Um, it can be, and this is dangerous, but there can be simply signs of wealth. So you can drive into the yard and hop out of a very expensive car, and this will be seen as a reason to believe that you are successful in life, which doesn't have to be. It's very prone to abuse and stuff, but this is how it will work in normal society that I understand, right? Um, it can be awards, it can be certificates. So these don't have to be braggy to be here. So I can simply state that I worked with 250 clients. So is that braggy? Well, it depends. Maybe I'm surrounded by people, or maybe I'll be compared to people who work with 1,000. Or I wrote a book. Maybe I'll be compared to a colleague that wrote 5 or 50, right? Um, but so a book can be something. These days you can self-publish. You can self-publish. Not a problem. However, it's not that easy. Even yes, even in the age of ChatGPT and this and that, sure, anybody can do it in 5 minutes. Yeah, try it. You know. Um. So it's easier than it was for sure. That doesn't make it easy, and definitely not the first choice of people who want to swindle you.
Yeah.
There are easier ways to swindle you. There are cheaper ways, faster ways, less likely to blow up in their faces. So it's much easier to hire a very expensive car, to rent out a very, very expensive car, than to write a book. So still, at this day and age, writing a book is one way that you can have a solid reason to believe. Sometimes it's guarantees. So I worked with a client who was for legal reasons unable to produce a very good portfolio. He's a graphic, and he said, and I can't afford to work for free to build up a portfolio. I said, okay, so you can't have a portfolio. You can't afford it right now. Great. Yeah, he said, but I can't not have a portfolio because everybody has said not necessarily true. You can not have it if on your website you prominently display why I don't have a portfolio, and there you say in very short sentences, in my experience, a portfolio isn't the best thing for the kinds of projects that I work. Instead, I'm offering a 50% uh, um, off, so 50% guarantee for my work. If you're not satisfied, I'll return half the money. Since said, okay, but I can't afford that either. I said, yes, you can. Just double the price, right? And that worked very well.
Yeah.
Because client said, well, yeah, okay. I mean, I've seen good people with bad portfolios and bad people with good portfolios. I can't really check if you actually did it. I can't really check how the whole thing went down. So yeah, I'll actually take the 50% guarantee much easier than a vague promise that is a portfolio. So you can absolutely be as Chloe one you says industry aware but distinct and get away with it, right? Uh, so that can absolutely work. All of those things are reasons to believe that you need to have in order to make use of the time that you talked about between the first time that somebody sees your offer and the time that they actually say yes or no. All of those things, things that you publish, things that you finish, so diplomas and certificates and awards and all of those things can contribute to you being able to reach the high ticket clients, right? One thing that I've seen, like a speed running trick for this kind of a thing. So once upon a time, I worked on a project, on a physical a project, and I spearheaded the. I didn't do any designing, but it was my task to find the agency who will design the packaging of this product. And this offer came with 17 pages, 15 of which, so the first page is the first page, and then 14 pages of awards, just one after the other that they won. And on the very last page was the offer. And it was in PDF, so you could, I mean, you technically could skip the pages, but you won't, right? So you keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. So all of these awards that they got, they didn't mention that anywhere. They just spammed you with all of the awards. And the subtext is there's a high chance that whatever we're going to work on for you gets an award, which gets additional publicity, free marketing, this and that and the other. So take that into account heavily before you take our price into consideration. And it's very hard not to do that. And by the way, they were the highest bidder and they won. And I think the project that was in Corona times, so the stuff got delayed, and I went to some other projects, but I think they also won an award. So it's they're using the time that already passed. So you didn't know about us, but here's what we won in the meantime. When you so that's a kind of a speed run technique, forwarding the time needed to trust them, right? And you could so they provided links and everything. You could go and see the website. So because there's also awards and awards, right? But these were genuine things you could go and see the runner up and see that they genuinely won those awards, right? Because of course, when you see something like that, you get skeptical. You don't want to Google that. Maybe say, it's too much. No. So they won't allow you to do that. So if you want to, of course, you won't look at all 14 pages. You will check out the few ones that you haven't heard of or that you have heard of and say, "Ooh, nice," and keep scrolling and then be sufficiently impressed that you're not shocked when they offer. And even if you say no, this is, I think, important. Even if we ended up saying no, we wouldn't be shocked by their offer. It was the highest, but it's like I'm considering getting a really good football player that everybody knows about for my team, and now they want some millions to cross over, and I'm like, really? How come? Just yes, obviously they're going to cost that much, right? And expecting anything else would actually disqualify me as a client, because after all of that, if I can't figure out why they offered that much, then this is not something that they're talking to the wrong person, and that's it, right? So anyway, that was I think that was a clever thing to do. Anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to add a suggestion to the audience. Generally, what is the challenge of experts? And I stumble upon that issue with a bunch of people who I'm helping and supporting in business. We have the problem with the portfolio for some things. As you also mentioned, we aren't able to disclose the information, who the clients are, etc., etc., etc. There is the strongest tool there, and that is personal contact. Just
Yes.
send people, to the contacts, to the partner with whom you have the previous working experience, so they can confirm your authority, your knowledge, experience, expertise, and that's it. That is the stronger than any video review, any written recommendation, and similar. And after that, you definitely can expect your closing rate to go higher. Why not? Yeah, because
Yes.
that is uh, you have two components. It's trusted source. You receive through recommendation, and somebody also took the time to confirm that you are a legit guy or a professional. That means a lot. The same thing as when companies are employing or looking for new employers, and they're contacting the previous companies where that person was working previously. And yeah, that is the part of the pre-vetting and vetting process. The same thing you can apply in your business if you have the struggle with sharing publicly your portfolio and similar stuff. That is a good tool to be used.
I like that. So where can people find you?
People can find me on LinkedIn and also on my business mentorship page, philipzalota.com.
This time I'll just mention the fearless-pricing.com. And see you all next week.
Yeah. See
Bye.
you. Bye bye.